At the beginning of the course, my Photoshop and InDesign skills were limited. My Photoshop skills were better than InDesign as I'd used it a few times before, so it helped when editing photos in Photoshop. However, I'd never used InDesign until the preliminary exercise. Having done the prelim exercise, I was more familiar on how to use different tools and how to edit and create master pages in InDesign for my final magazine. The lessons I learned about technologies were to save and back up in InDesign, as I lost some of the work I did in lesson, which meant I had to spend twice the amount of time recreating it. I also learned how to edit photos in Photoshop and then save and get them into InDesign without them losing picture quality. I learned how to create banners, a sticker and other typical features on the magazine cover that come in handy and save time for me in the main task, as I already knew how to create them in InDesign. Some of the skills learnt in the prelim task I used for my main one, such as the use of a sticker and a border at the bottom. By the time I had completed my main task, my Photoshop and InDesign skills had advanced significantly, and due to the mistake of not saving my work properly in the past, I was careful in saving work and backing it up. I knew how to do the basics from the prelim task, but anything I was unfamiliar with I would ask the teacher or someone around me, so I was progressing these skills along the way too. The lessons I learned about the use of technologies on the main task was I got familiar with using a camera and knowing how to work it confidently. In the prelim task and in the past someone has done it for me, whereas in the main task I rented the camera out and took photos with non-media students, so I figured out how to use it independently. The advantages of Photoshop were that it is easy to edit and crop or to flip photos, which I did for my main task. A disadvantage was because I didn't use much in my preliminary task. I'd forgotten how to do simple tasks and had to be reminded of it. The advantages of InDesign were that it was easy to make the magazine look real due to the master pages we created. This meant everything was placed within the correct border and place we made it, and it made it easier for my magazine to look like a real one. Another advantage of InDesign was the font choices. With my preliminary task, I used basic fonts as it fitted the style with it being a college magazine, but for my main task I wanted something different and found lots of options on InDesign that suited what I wanted. The advantage of using a camera and a tripod was that it was easy to guarantee a steady photo, and the camera was level and where it needed to be. The disadvantages were carrying the tripod, especially when taking it out of college, which in the end I decided not to do when I took the camera out, as the ground where I took the photo wasn't level as we were on a hill, so the tripod wouldn't have been able to balance. The advantages of the camera was that it was easy to focus and get a clear picture, but the disadvantage was the lighting had to be right for the picture to turn out well.